this video, we'll be showing you how to manage your HR partner reminders using Trello, a very popular task management tool in use by many businesses. I've set up a very simple Trello board here with 3 lists on it for my HR partner reminders. There's a list for things I'm going to do, things that I'm doing, and things that I've already done. The idea here is that any new reminders in HR Partner will automatically be put in my to-do list. Next, we'll create a Zap. A Zap in Zapier is simply a sequence of instructions that listens for a particular trigger and takes an action as a result. To create a new Zap in Zapier, just click on the Zaps menu over on the left-hand side. We currently have no Zaps in place, so just click the blue Make a New Zap button to start a new one. The first thing we're going to specify here is the trigger that we're going to look out for. So we're looking for a trigger from the HR Partner application. So choose HR Partner from the list and specify the trigger that we want. So we'll be looking for the new reminder trigger. So pull down the menu and scroll down to the bottom somewhere and you'll see an option there for new reminder. This will set a trigger whenever a new reminder is entered in HR Partner, no matter which module. Oh, we'll also have to specify the security setting that we had before for connecting to HR Partner. So it's already been set up, so we just need to choose it and then hit continue. Next, we can customize which reminders we pull from HR Partner. You can only pull reminders for a particular department, employee, admin user, etc. But in this case, we're going to be looking for all reminders, so leave all these options blank and just press continue to move on. Now it's time to test the trigger to make sure the connection is working. So all we need to do here is press the blue test trigger button. All going well, we should see some data, and it works, so we know the connection is good. So we can just press continue to get to the next stage. Now we need to tell Zapier what action to take whenever the trigger happens. And this is going to have to be taking place in Trello. So if you search for the Trello under the apps, you should see it on there and you can click on it to choose it. And here we'll be choosing what action we want. And we want to be creating a new card, which is the first action on the list. So just choose that from the drop down and then click continue. And if you haven't already signed on to Trello, you'll need to do it at this stage here. So to click the blue button to sign on. And you can see here I'm already signed on to Trello in another tab, so it's nice and easy. I'll just need to give it permission to say yes. Zapier can actually talk to my Trello system and create new cards. So just allow the security and you should be good to go. Now we need to specify the board and the list that we're going to look for. So the board I've set up is called HR Partner Reminders, as you can see from the title at the top there. And the list that we need to put the data in is the to-do list, the very first one there on the left-hand side. So pull down the board and choose HR Partner Reminders, the board name. Pull down the list drop down and choose the very first one there, the to-do list. Okay, now we can specify what data gets put into the new card that we create. So in the name, let's put in the description of the reminder and maybe the employee's name in brackets as well. So from the drop down, you can expand it out, go down and choose the description of the reminder. Then put in a space and an open bracket. And we're going to put in the employee name in there as well, which is towards the top of that list somewhere as you scroll through it. Now in the main body of the card, we probably want to put in the description again, the employee name, and some other details such as the time that the reminder is due as well. Feel free to set this up however you like, with as much or as little data as you need. It's entirely up to you. Feel free to also set up a custom label if you need to. You may want to put the module name in there as a label, but we won't do it in this particular example. What we will do though is actually put in the due date in here as well, so Trello can track the due date for the reminder. So in the due date field, scroll down and choose the remind at data from HR Partner. Additionally, we've also created a custom field within our cards to hold the reminder ID. And the reason for doing this, I'll show you a bit later, because we can actually push data back into HR Partner and we need the reminder ID to do this. So if you want to push data back, you'll need the custom field. If not, you don't. Once finished, you can just click continue, and then it'll do another test to make sure that we can actually send the data to Trello. And it'll confirm that on there, and you just check all the data is okay. And if it's fine, then just hit test and continue. That's it. Zapier should have pulled the data from HR Partner and put it into Trello already. Let's go over and have a look. And there we have it. Magically, the card's in Trello with the reminder. This is actually the very first reminder in HR Partner, so it's quite old, but it's a useful test to make sure that the system works. So you can see the data's been brought across and the reminder ID as well. Great. Everything working as it should. You'll also note that the reminder dates come across and been formatted properly. Normally the reminder dates are in UTC or GMT format, but Trello is smart enough to convert it to your local time zone as well, which saves you a lot of hassle. All that remains now is for us to name this Zap and save it, and then we can use it over and over again. Well, it'll just run in the background in Zapier all the time. On the free edition, it runs every 15 minutes, but if you have a paid version of Zapier, it runs every 5 minutes. So give it a meaningful name so you know what it is. And we can turn it on, and then we're done for this part. Let's now test out this Zap under battle conditions to see if it really works. So let's jump back into HR Partner and set up a new reminder and see if it comes across into Trello. So we're going to pick on Matt Connors here, and we're going to set up a brand new reminder for him. We're going to set up a performance review for Matt and set up a due date for the end of the month and a reminder date for just a few days before that. Once we save this performance review, we should see the reminder all set and ready to go within HR Partner. Now back in Zapier, you'll notice the data's not there yet. That's because, like I said before, the Zaps only run about every 15 minutes on the free edition. So what we'll do here is shortcut that by actually forcing the Zap to run straight away. So if you click on the down arrow and click run, you'll see the status as the Zap runs in the background. Everything's all green, which is a great sign. So now if we close this and go back to Trello, we should see the new card in there, and there it is. Annual review for Matt Connors. And if you open it, all the data's there and the reminder ID ready to go, including the due date. You can now drag this card to the other lists as you need. In the next section, we're going to see how we can actually clear the reminders in HR Partner all from within Trello. Zapier is not just useful for pulling data from HR Partner, we can actually save data back as well for full two-way communication. In order to do this with Trello though, we need to store the reminder ID somewhere within the card. And the way we do this is to set up a power-up, which is for custom fields. This is a free power-up available to all Trello users. So if you pull up any card and click the Get Power-Ups button and go to the Trello Marketplace and search for the word custom, we can pull up the custom fields add-on and add that to your Trello board. On the free edition you get one free power up, so you can add this pretty easily. Once added, you'll see a custom fields button that you can click on and then add a new field. We need to add an integer field or a number field, so choose number and in the name type in reminder ID. You can call it anything you like, but I want to call it reminder ID so we know exactly what it is. And create it. And there you'll see a custom field appear with the reminder ID. Now it's important to remember not to manually change this yourself, or you can cause issues when the data gets pushed back to HR Partner. So leave the reminder ID at whatever it's been set at when the new card's created. And that is about it. We're now ready to create a brand new Zap, which will push the data back to HR Partner whenever the card's been dragged across into the Done field. So what we'll do now is create a brand new Zap that will clear the reminder in HR Partner whenever a Trello task is dragged into the Done pile. So as you can see before, the tasks that come into To Do can be put into the Doing pile with no implications at all. But once you drag it into Done, we want the reminder in HR Partner to be automatically cleared as well. So let's go back to HR Partner and quickly check one of the reminders that we put before. So if we go back to Troy's record, we can see there's a performance review reminder sitting in there, which should also be reflected on the Trello board. And there it is there with the same reminder date. So we want to test and make sure that once this particular card is dragged into the Done pile, it gets cleared. So let's create a new Zap. Actually, before we create the new Zap, let's drag the card into the Done pile first so that Zapier can actually pick it up from there while we're testing it. So we'll create a Zap like before. And this time around, we're listening for the trigger from Trello, not from HR Partner. So choose Trello as the app. And the trigger event we're looking for is card move to list, which is right down the bottom here. So choose that from the list and continue. And before we go ahead, we must put in the security details that we set up before to link Trello to Zapier as well. So choose that and click continue. And now we can choose the board name, which is the same as before, HR Partner Reminders. And the list we're looking at for this time is the Done list, not the To Do one, the Done one right down the bottom. And we're looking for any card, so no need to fill in anything in here. And click continue. So now we're ready to test this again. So click test trigger and it should pull up the card details that we dragged into the Done pile before. All the data's there, so we can click continue. Now we need to specify the action, and this time the action takes place in HR Partner. So choose HR Partner as the action source, and the action event is going to be delete reminder, which is down the bottom here. So choose that and click continue. And once again, we need to specify the security for the HR Partner account that we linked before. So choose that and click continue. And we need to specify what reminder ID we want to delete. Now remember before we set up the custom field, so go down and choose the custom field. There's a lot of fields in the Trello card, so it might be easier to actually search for the word reminder and choose reminder ID here. And what that'll do is actually send the information back to HR Partner, letting it know which reminder ID to delete. And so now what we need to do is test this to continue. And this will actually delete the reminder for Troy Crandon that we had before in that card. Before we verify this though, let's go ahead and give this Zap a name. So we'll call it delete reminder in HR Partner, just so we know what it is when we look at it in the Zap list later. We'll activate it. And now we'll go back and check that the deletion was actually done. Now the card for Troy will already be cleared now because we set up the Zapier. So let's try it with another employee. So let's go back to Matt again, who's got a card that's still active. And there it is there for the annual review. And we're going to test by dragging this across into the doing column first. And nothing should happen. Everything should stay the same. So if I go back and check and refresh this screen, the reminder should still be there. But now if I drag it from the doing to the done column, it should straight away clear the reminder. So let's pop back into HR Partner again and check that, refresh the screen, and the reminder's gone, cleared. So no need to come back in here and manually remove it. You can get Trello to do that for you automatically using Zapier. That's how easy and powerful this system is. Thanks for watching, and please check out our other video lessons on other things you can do using the very powerful Zapier system and our API.